The vast land of Africa, endless golden plains stretching to the horizon, the air filled with the scent of earth and wildlife, and right in the middle of it, tall, confident people wrapped in bright red cloth. This is the Maasai tribe. This is not just the story of a tribe, it's a story of tradition, struggle, and truth. But along with these truths, there are also many myths, misunderstandings that we're going to uncover one by one. The Maasai people mainly live in the open savanna regions of Kenya and Tanzania. For centuries, they have preserved their traditions while maintaining a distinct identity in a rapidly modernizing world. What defines them? The iconic red garments known as shuka, colorful beaded necklaces, and the staff or spear they often carry. But behind this striking appearance lies a deep and complex culture. It's early morning, the sun slowly rises, and a Maasai settlement known as a manyatta begins to wake up. The homes here are made from mud, wood, and cow dung. Interestingly, building these homes is primarily the responsibility of women. In Maasai society, women play a vital role, but their lives are far from easy. A typical Maasai woman wakes up early. She often walks long distances to fetch water, prepares food, takes care of children, and manages the household. This brings us to the first truth and the first myth. Many people believe that women in Maasai society have a high level of personal freedom, but that's not entirely accurate. In reality, Maasai society is deeply traditional. After marriage, women are expected to be loyal and dedicated to their family. While polygyny exists, meaning a man can have multiple wives, it does not mean women have the same level of freedom. This is a truth that is often misunderstood. Now, let's talk about another myth, the idea of placing a stick outside the house. You may have seen videos or stories explaining this in strange ways, but the reality is much simpler. In Maasai culture, a stick or spear is a symbol of identity and protection. When placed outside a home, it usually indicates that someone is present inside, often a member of the household. It's a simple signal, but it has been misrepresented in many places. Now, think about it. Can a community that has preserved its traditions for centuries really function on such chaotic or exaggerated rules as shown online? The answer is no. Discipline and tradition are deeply valued in Maasai society. Now, let's step into the world of Maasai men. From a young age, boys are trained to become warriors. When they reach a certain age, they enter a stage called Moran, becoming warriors. This is one of the most important phases of their lives. During this time, they often live away from their families, face challenging conditions, and prove their strength, courage, and sense of responsibility. Another fascinating aspect is the age-set system. Boys of the same age group move through different stages of life together, forming strong bonds and a shared identity. Now, coming back to women, life for Maasai women is undoubtedly tough, but they are far from weak. They are the backbone of their families and communities. Without them, the society simply couldn't function. However, it's also true that they haven't always had equal rights. Some traditional practices related to women's health have existed in the past, and today many of them are considered harmful. Governments and organizations are actively working to eliminate such practices. Slowly, change is happening. Today, many Maasai girls are going to school, getting an education, and raising their voices for their rights. But this transition is not easy. On one side, tradition. On the other, the modern world. The Maasai people are trying to find a balance between the two. Now let's address another common myth. Maasai people only drink animal blood. This is only partially true. Yes, in certain traditional contexts, they may consume specific cattle-based foods, but this is limited to particular occasions. Their regular diet mainly includes milk, meat, and grains. Here lies another deeper truth. The Maasai and their cattle are closely connected. For them, cattle are not just animals. They represent wealth, identity, and life itself. The more cattle a person has, the higher their social status. Now, take a step back and look at this society from a distance. On one side, tradition, discipline, and culture. On the other, rumors, misconceptions, and incomplete information. Too often, we judge entire communities based on a few strange or sensational stories. But the truth is never that simple. The Maasai tribe teaches us that every culture carries a deeper story, one that can't just be heard, but must be understood and felt. The sun is now fully up. Life in the Maasai settlement is in full motion. Children are playing, women are busy with their work, and men are heading out to the plains with their cattle. It may seem like an ordinary day, but within it lies an extraordinary world. And this is just the beginning. The sun is now high overhead. The heat of the African plains spreads across the land. Herds of cattle move slowly in the distance, and behind them, Maasai warriors wrapped in red. Life in the Maasai tribe is not just about tradition. It is a daily struggle against nature, against time, and now against the pressures of the modern world. From early morning, Maasai men travel long distances to graze their cattle. For them, cattle are not just property, they are the foundation of life. Milk, food, and livelihood, everything depends on them. But things are changing. Where there were once open lands, there are now boundaries. Forests are shrinking, and many areas have been declared protected zones. This has deeply affected the traditional way of life of the Maasai people. They can no longer move their cattle as freely as before. And this is where the real challenge begins, finding a balance between tradition and modern laws. Many Maasai families are now sending their children to school. This change has come slowly, but its impact is powerful. A young Maasai child who once spent his days herding cattle with his family now walks to school carrying books. In his eyes, two worlds exist, his own traditions and a new world that is teaching him something different. Now let's explore another truth and a common belief. Many people think that Maasai society is completely traditional and disconnected from modern life, but that's not the full picture. The reality is that the Maasai are gradually adapting to modernity while holding on to their traditions. Today, many Maasai people use mobile phones, trade in local markets, and some even work in cities. Yet, despite these changes, they strive to preserve their identity. Now let's return once again to the world of Maasai women. It's midday. A woman walks under the hot sun carrying a heavy container of water on her head, traveling miles. This is not just hard work, it is her responsibility. But change is happening here too. Today, many Maasai women are stepping forward to claim their rights. They are getting an education, starting small businesses, and making their voices heard. This transformation is not easy. They often face challenges and resistance, but change does not stop. Now let's address another widespread belief. Maasai people don't care about hygiene. This is not entirely true. The Maasai live in regions where water is scarce, so they use it very carefully. They maintain cleanliness through traditional methods, such as using smoke and herbal practices. This is a practical adaptation to their environment, not neglect. Now let's talk about an old tradition, lion hunting. In the past, hunting a lion was considered a symbol of bravery for Maasai warriors. It was part of their journey into becoming warriors. But today, this practice has almost disappeared. Due to strict wildlife conservation laws and the declining number of lions. Now, Maasai youth prove their courage in new ways through education, leadership, and service to their communities. This is a significant shift. Now, let's explore one of the most beautiful aspects of Maasai culture, their music and dance. Evening falls, the sun sets, Maasai men stand in a circle, and then begins the adumu. This is their traditional jumping dance, where warriors take turns leaping high into the air. It's not just a dance, it's a symbol of their energy and identity. Women also take part through their songs and distinctive jewelry. Their beaded necklaces, their clothing, every detail tells a story. Now let's uncover the truth behind another belief. Maasai people keep their distance from outsiders. This is not accurate. In reality, the Maasai are known for welcoming guests. They share their culture and are also open to learning new things. Today, many Maasai villages are part of cultural tourism. People from around the world visit, experience their way of life, and spend time with them. But this also raises an important question. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Some believe it is changing their traditional lifestyle, while others see it as an opportunity, a way to preserve their identity while becoming economically stronger. So what's the truth? Perhaps it lies somewhere in between. Now night slowly falls. Stars begin to light up the sky. Fires glow within the Maasai settlements. People gather together, sharing food, telling stories. This is not just the end of a day, it is the continuation of a culture that is evolving with time, but not disappearing. And still, many mysteries remain, many truths and many beliefs waiting to be understood. The night has grown deep. Countless stars shine across the sky. Somewhere in the distance, the faint roar of a lion echoes, and around a glowing fire, people sit together, listening to stories. This is the true world of the Maasai tribe, a world that is centuries old, yet still alive today. But the most important part of this story is still left, to understand the truth. So far, we've explored Maasai traditions, understood their way of life, and uncovered the beliefs and assumptions often associated with them. Now, it's time to understand why these perceptions exist and what impact they have. In many parts of the world, the Maasai are portrayed as different or mysterious. Social media, short videos, and incomplete information often create a picture that isn't entirely accurate. Sometimes people say their women have complete freedom. Sometimes it's claimed they use unique signals to express relationships. Sometimes their traditions are exaggerated for attention. But what is the truth? The truth is, Maasai people are human, just like anyone else. They have their own rules, responsibilities, and boundaries. Their culture may be different, but it deserves to be understood with depth, not assumptions. Now, an important question. Is Maasai culture disappearing? The answer is no, but it is changing. Today, Maasai communities in Kenya and Tanzania are going through a new phase. On one side, there are traditions. On the other, modern education, laws, and technology. Many Maasai youth are moving to cities, working and building new lives. But when they return to their villages, they wear their traditional clothing, perform the same dances, and speak their native language. This shows that identity is not just about place, it's about connection and belonging. Now let's talk about the future of Maasai women. Their situation is changing compared to the past. Today, many girls are going to school, some are reaching higher education, and others are taking on leadership roles within their communities. They are no longer limited to the home. They are understanding their rights and moving forward to claim them. But challenges still remain. Some old traditions still exist, some mindsets still need to change, and this transformation will take time. Now let's address another common belief. Maasai people are harsh or aggressive. This perception is not entirely true.
Yes, they have a history as warriors. They have shown courage in protecting their people and their cattle, but that does not mean they are aggressive by nature. In reality, Maasai people are disciplined and deeply responsible towards their community. They live in balance with nature. They do not overuse resources, and that is what makes them unique. Now think about it. In a world that is changing rapidly, where many people are losing their sense of identity, what can we learn from the Maasai? They teach us to never forget our roots. They teach us the importance of living in harmony with nature. And most importantly, they teach us not to judge any culture too quickly. Now, the final scene. Morning is about to return. The first rays of sunlight touch the Maasai village. A new day begins. The same traditions, but a new mindset. A young child prepares for school. A woman moves forward, not just with her daily work, but with her rights. A young man walks the path of both tradition and modern knowledge. This is the future of the Maasai, a future where tradition and modern life walk side by side. And what do we learn from this